to our next keynote discussion, which is mobile marketing environment and predict upcoming trends. So guys, we all know that future of mobile looks bright. Industry trends indicate that spends on mobile will further increase. To highlight this subject, we have with us Mr. Ankur Gatani, who is the Vice President, Growth and Marketing, Web Engage, to share some views with us. So a very warm welcome, Mr. Ankur, in this discussion.
Thanks, Namita. I hope I'm audible
I hope
and
you're
my
doing
screen is
well.
visible too. I'm doing great. Thank you. Can you guys hear me all right? And can you see my screen?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. So, well, I gather that we're running a bit behind schedule and all of the guys have kind of added up to join the awards function. So I'm going to keep it a bit quick. And since you guys have already spent the entire day listening to a whole bunch of very heavy stuff, I'm going to try and keep it a little bit more light. Right. So the fun fact of today is where a lot of categories have seen massive growth that has happened over the last few years. And some of the micro segments, which are not as big as the billion Indians that one would imagine, the space is starting to saturate. Now, which is where you'll start to see that a smart marketer needs to just pay a lot more attention to making sure that it's not just about the installs. Now, of course, Mr. Mathur highlighted the fact that there's a lot of incorrectness in the data the way you see it, but the install that are genuine, even with those users, you will want to make sure that the install is not where the story ends. It's actually where the story begins. So that's where I want to use this graphic to say that if the person is actually just installed the application, he might still be promiscuous. He might still be looking elsewhere for other stuff. Yeah. And the counterpart example that I would use here is it's like inviting a whole bunch of friends and guests to your party. But if you don't have the bar and snack setup, what's going to happen? And you know, the analogy is with the customer lifetime value that when you want to call people to your application, install it, and they leave without doing enough business with your company, that's a problem. And that's where building out the right retention ecosystem and the retention stack comes into the picture. So I just wanted to flag this correctly that if you are a modern marketer, if you're spending an insane amount of money on growth, if you are acquiring a whole bunch of installs on the application using the best of modern techniques, but you're not spending enough time and attention on retention, you're probably up for a bit of a shock. So the intent is to make sure that you understand the fact that out of every 100 people who install the application, probably 80% of them will be gone in a matter of, let's say, 4 weeks, maybe 3. And that's the danger that you live with at any point of time. So unless you make sure that these guys are staying with you and staying longer and coming back month on month, your base, the active installed base or the daily active user base, whatever you measure, is not going to grow after a point. You can keep spending money on new installs, but you're leaking installs. So how far will it take you? The general myth it tends to happen is a lot of companies, even today, when I see their messaging or their push strategy, for instance, is a whole bunch of blast messages. And that's the part which modern marketers need to understand better, that blast is a matter of past. The best of companies in the world do a lot of automation. So when you receive a message from an Amazon or a Netflix, it would typically not be something which is going out as a single message to every user. It'll be highly personalized to you as an individual user. And that's where if you want to do a smart thing, you need to make sure that you have a whole lot of these automations set up. And the image that I use here is of an orchestra because in a good situation for a marketer, a retention guy, he's actually running a whole lot of these things in harmony. Yeah. I wanted to give a very simple example here. And while I love both of these companies and I'm a heavy consumer, I find it a little concerning that they have such a large audience base and they still don't use push notifications as effectively as they could. Right. And I have a personal interest in this subject because I used to do this out of Berlin for a company called Foodpanda, which was before all these guys came into the scene. So what's possible is as a brand, you have a lot of information about me as a user. You know my name, you know my cuisines, you know my geography where I normally order from, and you know the price points I operate under. You know a lot of things about me. So why are you not using all that information to give me a message? So because today's consumer is a distracted consumer, he has 20 things going on in parallel. Probably half of you right now would have a parallel screen going on your phone or would be doing something on your Slack or your Asana while listening to this conversation. Simply because unless there's a attention grabbing topic here and I speak out your name, something specific, you would not pay attention. Now that's the truth of today's marketing. Unless you do a good job at personalizing the message, which amplifies relevance for the user, he's not going to pay attention. And that's a critical thing you need to remember. And the other thing which goes along with the automated system is how you can actually incrementally improve every day. Because typically what will happen is not an overnight massive impact, but I think a lot of you would be used to this 1.01 raised to 365, but I believe that for a long-term play, this will end up getting again raised to the power of 5, because it's not a single year journey, it's actually a multi-year journey to get this all right. Amazon at the end of 27 years of being in operation is doing what it's doing today. Yeah, so as long as your growth engine is designed to scale, you will not have a good time later on. And that's that. I would just want to make sure that when you're choosing a technology and data stack for doing your retention automation, you're not choosing something which is going to be more of a manacle, which ends up being so complicated that end up using more than 20% of the stack. And unfortunately, we see a lot of large brands doing this already because they feel that this is a fancier tool with fancier functionality, and they will be able to, let's say, showcase a good reputation internally by choosing this tool or by being a customer of this company. Now, what tends to happen is with these last tools, they end up being more of, let's say, I would say, gaps in terms of your execution ability, because there's so much more that you need to learn and invest in from talent profile. On the other side, there are other tools, which is where WebEngage comes in, is where you start relatively simpler, but you actually keep compounding. And that compounding starts to, over a longer period, look like a rocket ship. So I hope I'm not holding a lot of people back from the awards function. All the best for all the participants. And thank you, Adgali, for this conversation. Over to you, Namita.
Thank you so much, Ankur, for this useful information we have got from you. Once again, it was one such piece of information that we have learned so much from that. Thank you once again.